Greetings from wherever you're listening from. It's yet another beautiful day that I'm going to show you how to configure DHCP on a microtik. Basically, this is one of the interesting things with the current technology. You don't have to move machine to machine to just set up the IP addresses, but basically you can use the DHCP. So DHCP is a network protocol that you use to dynamically issue IPs to your hosts or to your computers or your network devices in your network without you going to them physically to configure them. So today I'm going to be showing you how to set up DHCP on a microtik router. Some people have been frustrated. I've set up my microtik, it's ready, I've given it addresses, but DHCP is not working. So today I'm going to be showing you how to configure DHCP on your microtik router, of which there are basically two options that you can use to achieve that. You can configure the DHCP via the wizard. I can call it a wizard. Basically, that's one of the ways you can configure it where you're guided next, or you can also configure it manually in a manual way where you define your parameters accordingly. You define your network, define your pool when you're not guided. So you have to be knowing what you're exactly doing. Before we dive into configuring a DHCP in a microtik, if this is your first time and you're new in this channel, please subscribe, and you can also support me by subscribing to this channel and sharing it to your friends, and also share the knowledge together with others. If you know how to do something better, just keep sharing it out. This is what influences us to do what we are doing. So today, if you have access to your microtik router, you connect your microtik router and you just dive straight away to the DHCP section. Then we begin. Let me connect to my microtik. Let me connect to my microtik. If you don't know how to connect to the microtik, you use Winbox. That Winbox will help you access your microtik. I have a video for that if you need. I'll put for your link somewhere that you can use. So let's dive straight away to the microtik. So you just need to access your microtik that you're going to be configuring. As you can see, mine, I have access to it. If you don't know, if you don't have access to your microtik, you download Winbox and you connect to it. Once you have connected into your microtik, you're going to come to IP here. First, check your addresses. So I have already addresses here, but basically I want to create a DHCP for this particular network here, 8888. So I have my network already there, 192.168.88. So the network is already there and the interface is bridge. So the only thing now I have to do is basically create a DHCP. You come here, then you come to DHCP server. As explained earlier, there are two ways you can create. You can use the wizard or you can use the manual creation. Now let me use a wizard first, then we shall also use the manual way. Now with the wizard, you just come here, DHCP, under your DHCP server, you select here DHCP setup. Once you are at the setup, a dialog box is displayed. You select your interface, which basically is your bridge. Like in my case, I have a bridge. If your interface is not bridge, you select your particular interface that is going to be issuing your DHCP. So mine is bridge, then you click next. Now here are the address space. It will the DHCP setting has automatically given me my entire network. But in some scenarios, if yours does not given you the entire network in the address DHCP address space, you will need to add it there. Once you add it there, make sure you add the subnet mask. Don't forget. If you forget the subnet mask, it will not work. Once you have added the entire network here, you go next. Now here comes the gateway for your DHCP network. So whatever IP you have configured as your interface, that's the same IP you use. Like here I have 192.168.88.1. So I use that as my interface for this particular DHCP. So this will act as my local gateway for all my internal machines that will be getting DHCP from this box. So all the IPO internal IPs will be looking at this as their local gateway. Then you click next. Now here comes your pool. So here you specify the pool. Mine is speaking from 192.168.88.2 up to this, but basically I want to begin from 10. I'm sparing the other IPs for static assignment. Then here I'm only stopping up to 150. Again, this is all dependent on your network. If your network is very big, you can finish the whole pool. If your network is very small, why should you waste all those IPs in a DHCP pool? So you can just put few, you just put those few there and it just works fine. So for me, I'm putting out only 140 IPs. These are just enough for me. Then I go next. Now here I define my DNS. So if you have already, you can define your DNS here that your users are going to pick. This downer button here helps you if you want to add another DHCP server, like so another DNS box. Like now if you have say maybe 192.168.8.1, if you're using your interface as your DNS, you can add, then you add maybe 8.8.8, you add it there, which is just perfect. Then you go next. I'm using the global DNS. Then you go next. Here you specify the list time. How long do you want your DHCP to stay before it's leased out? If again, it depends on your network. If your users are there daily, who come for they stay at office the whole day, they don't go to the field, you don't have guests, then you can increase this maybe to 1 hour, 2 hours, 24 hours, depending just on your choice. You can put 24 hours, you can put maybe 10 hours, all is yours. But if you have guests always, then you can put it even to 30 minutes. After every 30 minutes, those IPs are this. After every 30 minutes, those IPs are list and other people use them. So I'm leaving it, giving it 1 hour. Then you go next, and your DHCP has been created. Now, with this is how you create DHCP using the wizard. Now with this, everything is complete. You have your DHCP server running and working fine. Let me just test, connect a machine and test. So once you have configured your DHCP, now I just want to test if I'm getting an IP. I've connected a device directly to my microtik in my bridge that I've just configured, which is right here in the network. So let me just check. Remember, this is the DNS we gave to it. So let me just check my leases. So yeah, so in the list here, my device has picked an IP. That is how you configure DHCP on a microtik router. Thank you for viewing. Have a wonderful day.